David Goggins is an author, speaker, retired Navy SEAL, one of the greatest endurance athletes in the world, and Runner's World called him a hero of running. He went from growing up in an abusive household, struggling with asthma, obesity, and racism, to becoming a Navy SEAL, the world record holder for doing the most number of pull-ups in a 24-hour span, and becoming one of the highest paid speakers in the world. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, David Goggins, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Have a morning routine.
What's your morning routine?
Every morning, without fail, the first thing I do is I run. Without fail. I haven't missed a day of running since 2016.
Okay.
So I get up, I do that. 4 days out of the week, I go to the gym. And every single night for 5.5 years, I stretch out for at least 2 hours.
That was a killer part of the book.
Every night. That's where so when you go so hard, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you have to have time set aside to quiet and recover. Recovery is big. The mind, especially the mind and the body.
Yep.
This is my time. There's no phone calls. There's no emails. The world does not exist.
Yep.
Because I have to get ready for tomorrow.
Yep.
Get the body opened up. Why? Because as I won't get too
You
deep into it.
You went deep into the book. It was awesome.
But your body's getting tight.
Yeah.
You go hard, Tom.
Yeah.
A lot of people go hard. What happens is that stress starts to tighten up that psoas muscle.
Hip flexors, psoas, lower back. You got back problems all of a sudden. You have no idea why. Right. It's all tightness.
It's all tightness, man, because you're constantly charged and going hard.
Rule number 2, examine your darkness.
When I left, I was young. I had a young kid's point of view on my father. So when I was 22, at 300 pounds, I went back to see my dad. Because I wanted to make sure that what I saw at 8 is the same vision, because it's my father. I don't want to not talk to my father, no matter what he did, no matter what I saw, but was it through a young kid's eyes? So at 22, I went back. And I was able to examine him as a man. As a fragile man that I was, but I was able to examine him. And through this process, by this point in my life, I was examining myself and realizing I have a whole mess of problems, big time. Some were from him. Some were for people that bullied me. A lot were from me. And in knowing how messed up I was able to examine everybody around me. I examined him. And I examined him to know, my God, the insecurities that you must have, the problems that you must have inside of you, I don't want to have those. I come from my father. I have what he has. And I didn't want to be him. Why he made fun of me, my brother, why he beat the hell out of me, my brother, my mom. It comes from a dark place. An insecure, dark place. Why he womanized, why he sold prostitutes, why he ran, all this stuff he did. A good human being doesn't need to do that. A fulfilled human being doesn't need to break anyone down. All they do is want to build you up. So anybody you meet that calls you out of your name, that bullies you, that messes you up, that makes you feel not lifted, they are dealing with something deep-rooted. Yeah, you have to have a tough tone with some people to help them out. There's a difference. You have to be hard. I'm hard on people, but it comes from a good place.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson he taught me was how not to be. And that's why I had to fix what I was. Because insecurities make everybody around you feel like hell. And that's the one thing I did not want anyone to feel like. That's why I judge no one. Tons of whites have called me nigger. Tons of people have hurt me. I judge no one because I know where it comes from. I know you. I was once you. That's why now the place I'm at, you get a get out of jail free card. You need to help yourself. You ain't bullying me, man.
Right. You're fine.
I'm good.
Whatever you throw at you.
I'm good.
You're like,
I know what's wrong with you because I was once you.
Right.
So I started to examine people, examine myself, examine my darkness, realizing how I cannot be, but I got it from examining him. Saying I cannot be that.
Rule number 3, treat life as an endurance sport.
A lot of us are being forced into solitude right now, in our homes, apartments, wherever we live. But we're also being forced into solitude in our own minds. Life is the most brutal endurance sport of all time. And that's what we have to love about it. We have to flip it on its head and love the fact that life continues to attack us. There are no timeouts. You can't just go like in a sporting event when the coach doesn't like something and call timeout. You have to figure shit out on the fly. You have to be that person who's always prepared. But the solitude right now that a lot of us are dealing with is what we don't want to deal with. It's the fact that we have to think about all these things that we don't like about ourselves. We like to use life as a big escape. That escape is not there anymore. All these distractions that we use, they're no longer there. This is the time right now for you to stop avoiding things. Get that pen and paper out. Look inside yourself. Stop looking at me or other people out here to be the hero of your story. This is time for you right now in all that solitude to get to know who you are as a person. Be alone with yourself. Write that shit down. Start to face these different things in life. Knowing one thing in life, we are all very fragile in this world. We have to know that when we die with some meaning and some purpose in this world. Stay hard.
Rule number 4, become your best.
In chapter 11, that's the last chapter, right?
Right, last chapter.
And Adam does a wonderful job, sort of narrating and telling the story. But then you broke into this piece that I had such an even deeper appreciation for you, where you're like, look, man, like this visualization about like one day when we all die, right? So would you mind? I mean, I know it's totally in the book.
No, it's fine.
But I think it's a great way to wrap this.
So let's say this, man. So I don't care what you believe in. I'm not judging you. I believe in God.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're atheist. I don't give a damn what you are. But for this scenario,
yes,
let's say that you're God.
Yeah.
Let's say that you guys, for those of you who read my book, get the audio book or the hardcover, whatever, I used to weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was 175 in high school and 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's say that I didn't improve myself at all. I die at 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, making $1,000 a month. That's what I made.
Yeah.
And I go to heaven and you're God. And you have a big, long line of people. And I'm standing in line. I'm coming up. I'm next. So you have Mary Ann. And Mary Ann, you're talking to her. You're judging her. And I'm like, what the hell does God have in his hand? What's that paper?
Yeah.
And so God tears it away and throws it in the trash can, and Mary Ann goes walking away.
Yeah.
Now, you have a piece of paper in your hand, and I'm next. And God says, sit down, David.
David Goggins.
That's right. David Goggins on top of the paper. And I say, and God gives me the paper. And I look at it. When I'm reading this paper, and on the paper, I'm seeing all these amazing things. You were a 185-pound athlete. You ran all these crazy races. You broke records. You were a Navy SEAL. You were the only person to do this, do that, do everything. You had a best-selling book, man. You changed millions of lives. And I look at God, who is you right now, and I say, this says David Goggins up here, which is my name, God, but this isn't me. I think you gave me the wrong paper. And God says, no, because God knows all. God sees all. And God looks at me and says, this is what you should have been. This is what you should have been.
Book. Yeah.
This is what you should have been.
Yeah.
You should have been this. We all have a choice in the world.
Yeah.
God, or whatever you believe in, knows what you're supposed to be, knows what's inside of you.
Yeah.
But most of us take the choice that makes us feel good.
Yep.
We're not willing to break through those barriers to find, so my whole mindset was this. That's how I visualize. I visualize that one day I will be judged by something much more powerful than me.
Yep.
And my whole thing is, while I'm living on earth, God knows everything about David Goggins. Even God, I want God to be up there with a pen, get another piece of paper saying,
He did what?
I didn't even know he'd do that. I didn't know he'd do this. So I want God to be impressed with how I turn out.
Yeah.
Which means I want to check off every single box of all the possibilities of what I'm supposed to be in life.
Yeah.
Leave nothing to question in my life.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and self-love, check out my 254 series, where every day for the next 254 days, I send you an amazing link via email to an unlisted video that will boost your confidence. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. Everything I didn't want to do is what got me to where I'm at today. You can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are.
Rule number 5, be mature.
How do you react or respond when someone says something to you negative or cuts you off in a car, or just something happens in life every day that could potentially upset you? Do you react? Do you respond? Do you do nothing? Do you give them a hug? I mean, what is the process for you now?
The process used to be angry David Goggins.
Scream at them, swear at them,
Yes.
Pick a fight.
That was the old me.
Yeah.
The old me was pick a fight, go do whatever. Through this process of my life, when you get to this point I'm at, and I still be in the car and I'll talk to my fiance, this jackass, whatever, whatever. I now know that I can escalate a problem. That's not really a problem. I have a throttle, and that's through self-examination.
Yeah.
Is this a big deal? Is this something I need to approach with a level 3 engagement of like, we're going at it?
Right.
Or is this a level 2 engagement? So now you have to be mature enough, and I'm really big on maturity because I was never mature for so many years. With age and knowledge, you have to bring in maturity. Age doesn't mean you're mature. It's going back in and say, okay, man, look, I'm at a point in my life. What is smart? If I do this, I can see the future. I can see that if I do this, this is going to happen. I'm going to escalate this problem. Is this warranted? There are some things that warrant me to escalate a problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I do now. I take it through a process.
You rate it, yeah.
Yes. It goes on a rating program.
Rule number 6, don't let fear stop you.
The most important step wherever we take in life is our next one. But a lot of us get our feet stuck in concrete. We get our feet stuck in concrete because we're afraid to make enemies. We're afraid to speak what's on our mind. We're afraid of being in that group of people. And when you walk away, we're afraid of what they might say behind your back. All that fear clouds your brain, clouds your thinking. One thing in life, you're going to always have haters. Embrace them. If you can walk on water, trust me, your haters will say you can walk on water because you can't swim. Learn one thing. Shut the noise out. Embrace the fact that people don't like you. It means you're doing something right. Stay hard. Stay in the fight.
Rule number 7, become a savage.
If you can dream and not make dreams your master. We all have dreams. I had them when I was younger. So I figured the best place to make those dreams come true are in isolation. So I walked into isolation as David Goggins, but I walked out of isolation as Goggins. When you become a savage is in isolation. When you're training for a big MMA fight or just a boxing match, you don't stay outside of isolation. You go in isolation. And that's when your mind changes. That's when your focus changes. Your dedication changes. Don't use this time to f up your mind. Use it to gain strength, gain focus. Isolation is the key to strengthen your mind. Come on, a savage.
Rule number 8, be your own hero.
You are your own hero. You are your own leader. You are your own master. And that is a big one because we idolize so many people
Mm-hmm.
and we want to be them. We want to be someone else. And in doing that, you lose all the potential of who you are. You mimic, you be them, you are them, you become them, and you lose you. And we look up to so many people in this world who will let us down. We're humans. I'm going to let you down. You're going to let somebody down. And you put them on a pedestal, you then lose time when that person comes up and lets you down.
Mm-hmm.
You must hold yourself accountable, and being your own hero, that's what that does. You make yourself so totally accountable for who you are. You focus on you and only on you to become the best person you could be for others. Because we leave a lot on the table, not searching who we are.
Mm.
And then therefore you die not knowing your greatest potential.
Rule number 9, enjoy the pain.
So I'm sitting there and I think I'm going to die. And worst shape of my life. And I'm in this tub and I'm jackhammering and I have this hot water hitting me. And I'm literally in the worst pain. My shins, my feet, I'm broken. And I'm just sitting, I'm cramping up. And she said, we gotta get you to the doctor. You know, your mom's worried, I'm worried about, like, we've never seen this before in my life. And I go, I'm not going anywhere.
Huh.
I want to sit here and enjoy this pain.
Oh.
And I know the listeners hearing this are gonna say, man, you're a nut. No, I'm not. What I got a chance to experience in that 19 hours and 6 minutes of my life was something I didn't want any painkillers. This was proof positive. What I was feeling is what I just did. I did something without training, without coaching, without a cheering staff, without any knowledge. I took a raw human being with no training whatsoever, put him out in a condition, and just through this alone, got through it.
Amazing.
And I sat there and I was like, it was the best feeling I've ever had and will ever have in my entire, I was in the worst pain in my life. And it was the best feeling I ever had in my life. Not because of the pain I was in, but the pain was confirmation of, my God, did I just do that?
Wow.
And I had completed hell weeks. But that right there was like, don't take this from me.
Man.
And it was confirmation, proof positive that this young kid that came from that wasn't that lied and shit I was now the truth.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is help yourself.
I get a lot of questions, people asking me for help. So I asked them, what have you done to help yourself? Most of them say, I've been working hard. I'm all about being your own hero, but I'm not about kissing your ass. In life, a lot of us believe that we're working much harder than we actually are. We think if we got up early for 4 days, we've earned something. You gotta drop your entitled mindset. It's dead weight. We believe we work harder than we actually have. Trust me, most of us haven't. The one thing in life you gotta realize is this. Learn to help yourself. Don't count on other people to help you.
Now, I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, if you're still here watching and you promise, you commit that you're going to take action after watching this video, you're not just going to watch a video, you're going to do something afterwards, give me a hashtag believe in the comments because I want to celebrate you.
So I got a lot of questions over the holidays. The one major question I got was, how do I finish where I start? I get 2 weeks into it and then I stop. Well, this is the thing about it. People forget one thing about me. I used to be you. I used to be a fat guy, a guy that didn't care much, a guy that got D's and F's in school, a guy that blamed other people, a guy that was under mediocre. I wasn't even average. So this is the thing about it. I'm going to tell you what people don't want to tell you. Why you stop
It's because you're lazy. It's because you don't mind getting bad grades in school. It doesn't bother you enough to be mediocre, to be average, to sit around and watch people do great things. You don't mind it. So there's your answer. Your answer is you don't care enough about yourself, so you don't stay in the fight.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.